All right, we're on the last page of your Unit 7 test review. These are SOL questions, so we want to make sure that we look at the easiest way to get these, right? So which of the following statements is not true? So I'm going to circle not, just because that's a key word there. Usually we have to find ones that are true. This is the opposite now. Here they're telling you the graph is a exponential function, all right? So A, if that base, that A, is between 0 and 1, then f of x represents an exponential growth. So all I'm going to do is pick a number between 0 and 1. So I'm going to put 0.5. I'm going to go ahead and plug that into my calculator. So I'm going to put 0.5 raised to the x power. If it looks like exponential growth, I'm going to move on to B. And when we look at this, it does not look like an exponential growth. It actually looks like an exponential decay. So I know that's not true. I'm going to circle A right away. Okay. All right. 31. What is the range of the function defined by? So this is a exponential function again. All right. And I know that this is my HA. Y equals 2. But I want to definitely go ahead and graph this. Okay. Remember, range are my y values. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug this in. So negative on the outside, parentheses 1/3 raised to the x power plus 2. All right, taking a look at my graph. It's coming up and then evening out at 2. Okay. Remember, asymptote is it never actually touches it, it just gets really close to it. Okay, so I know it's going to be everything up until right here, which is 2. So I'm going to cross out A and B because it's using -3 and it doesn't make sense. Here, you have less than 2, less than or equal to 2. We know it can't equal 2, right, because that's your asymptote. So my only choice I have left is C. Okay, so let's take a look at number 32 and 33. Which equation best represents the graph below? So a lot of times people would actually try to figure out, okay, what can I do? A lot of people just stare at this. So what I notice is, remember how your horizontal asymptote usually is at 0? Well, it actually is now at -3. So that means it has to have a -3 at the end. So I'm going to cross out B and D. And when I take a look at this, I have 2 raised to the x and 1/2 raised to the x. The graph here looks like a decay. So I need to make sure that I understand that it's a number between 0 and 1 that's being raised to the x. So right now I think it's C. If you have no idea how to do this problem, the best way to do this is actually just graph it on your calculator. Graph each of the choices in your calculator. It might take a while, but you know for sure that you got it right. So let me go ahead and try to graph 2 raised to the x minus 3. And take a look at the graph. And already it doesn't look like it at all. So it's definitely not A. I crossed out B earlier, but let's double check to make sure it's not B. So I have 1/2 in parentheses raised to the x, and then plus 3. Oh, I need to go ahead and delete that extra 1/2. All right, let's graph it. Okay, it's sloping down, but it's not evening out where the one on paper is. Let's look at C. 1/2 raised to the x, but instead of adding 3, we're going to subtract 3. Let's graph. Okay, that definitely looks like the one on paper. So I'm going to go ahead and circle C. You can double check the last one. Clear this out. 2 raised to the x power plus 3. I'm going to graph it. Already doesn't look like it. So I know C for sure is the correct answer. All right, 33, what is the domain of the graph below? So remember, domain are your x values. So I'm going to look along my x-axis from left to right. So if I look here, there's nothing here until -4. So I know my answer is going to need a -4 in there somehow. So I'm going to go ahead and cross out A, cross out C, and also cross out D. Well, B is the only one with -4. And it's all numbers from -4 to infinity. So it's all numbers greater than -4, and that's what B is.